Hey guys, welcome to Mad Acre Homestead. This is Ryan. Today is November the 15th. I got my beautiful wife, Mrs. Madison. Say hey to the camera. Now we're traveling to Castle Rock. It's a little bit of ways away from our house to go to a rabbit show that's been put on by the local American Rabbit Breeding Association. I'm going to ask you guys, pray for me. My nerves ain't that good since driving in Illinois, and when my wife said that she has one good eye, that's not a joke. That's not laughing matters. So I do ask for prayers as we head down this roadway. She already had one scare.
I did not.
But yeah, we're on our way to the. Ooh, Lord Jesus. Just stay in one lane. Stay in one lane. Yeah, pray for us, especially me. I'll bring you guys back on once I get there, and hopefully my nerves are all right, and I can do some recording and show. We're going to submerge ourselves in the wonderful life of rabbitry today. See you guys when we get there. All right, guys, I made it. I briefly lost my wife there, but found her. She went on a mad sprint as soon as we got here when she saw rabbits. So, but this is crazy to me. I've never seen as many rabbits. Well, I definitely want to see what he's doing. Because I just bought mine just to be buying them. If I ask you a question,
You can ask me any question you want.
She said you was looking at that rabbit for the buy-in. What? I'm new to this. What were you looking at?
Dutch, or are you thinking about getting a Dutch?
I have 4 already.
Oh, okay.
But I just bought them on experience.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, well, I'll take one of mine, so I'm not like hitting on somebody else's rabbit.
you mind if I record it for my
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. He's about to teach me about the Dutch.
Oh, okay.
So Dutch are both judged on their markings and their type.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've heard you want to go tight before markings. So that same phrase, you got to build the house before you paint it.
Yes.
So when you're looking for type, you want nice depth and strength through this hind quarter.
Okay.
And Dutch tend to be a little narrow, so that's one thing you've really got to check.
Okay.
And then you also want nice depth of body. So you get that by kind of looking at the side, and that's the rise from here to here. That's what they call depth.
Okay. What is there like a height that we're typically looking for, or?
No, you just don't want. So this rabbit's posed properly.
Okay.
Say if it was like this and still posed properly, that would be what they call a flat rabbit.
Okay.
And that wouldn't be well in the shape.
Okay.
When you pose a rabbit, see his feet here?
Yeah.
It should kind of line up. See this curve in the hind quarter?
Uh-huh.
It should line up there. And then you want these front feet kind of underneath the eye.
Front feet underneath the eyes. Okay.
So he's judged properly.
Okay.
And then when you're still looking at type, you want to think circles or roundness. So you want a nice round head.
Okay.
You want it kind of round through here and then round through the hind quarter.
Okay.
And you'll hear balance a lot with Dutch. And
Okay.
what that means is you'll see Dutch, and I have one. I can pull it out in a while. It's got a real strong hind quarter and a very weak shoulder. So it comes across as just ugly. Like it, and I'll bring her out and show her to you. Then you want a nice ear. He has a really good ear. You want it to be kind of short, about that length.
Okay.
And then we'll get on to markings.
Okay.
So you want this saddle, and this is this white part right here, to be as straight and crisp as you can. You'll see wavy saddles, and he's got a really nice saddle. This buck won a reserve best in show, and I think he's a 3-time best of breed winner. I don't know for sure. This is a really nice buck.
Okay.
This is probably the nicest buck we have right now. So that's what they call the saddle. Then see this little triangle right here behind the ears?
Yes, sir.
They call that a notch, and it's not worth many points. It's only, I think, worth 2 points in the overall points. But it's one of the things that judges say makes a Dutch, and so they'll look for that.
Okay.
And then you move down to this blaze. You want this blaze to be just like this, to be kind of go up to the top here, be nice and even here, not too wide. You'll see a lot of difference in the blaze. If you kind of look around, you'll see narrow blazes and crooked blazes. And, so that's markings that you can kind of see from the top.
Okay.
And then what the judges will do is they'll roll a rabbit over. And when they're doing that, you want to keep it kind of, support it so it's still in that pose stance. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the pose it was in before I told you about, you want to try and maintain that when you turn it over.
Okay.
Ideally, you'd like the Dutch to be around here in the cheeks. See how he comes down a bit like a point there?
Yeah, so like a square at the bottom, like a 90.
So that's not perfect. They'd maybe call that hooked. But he's even, but not perfect.
Okay.
And then the stops is where that white and black, see there?
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want those stops to be placed. Some judges might say he has a short stop, which the black comes down here. But I'd rather have a short stop in my breeding than a long stop. Okay. And a long stop would be, so past the elbow would be, or this little bend would be a DQ.
Okay.
And so you can't have it. Yeah.
Disqualification.
So, but the deal with stops is if you get a long stop rabbit, for me, I see stops tend to get longer.
Yes.
And you want them both to be even. See how both his stops are pretty even?
Yes.
You want that. I have another rabbit that's not even.
I hope I don't offend, but I just got a question. So, like, if you raise his stop up, you see how it like kind of like zigzags a little bit.
Yep.
Do they count against you on that
Yeah,
too?
if that could be straight across, that would be better. So they'd
Okay.
call this a ragged stop.
Okay.
Or they'd say probably like a little bit ragged.
And do they deduct points for that, or
They could, yeah.
Okay.
But you're never gonna have the perfect mark Dutch. There's just too many things.
Okay.
But let me show you.
So how long you been doing this?
We haven't been doing it very long, like 10 years, I think.
10?
Yeah.
That's not long.
Like that guy in the wheelchair, he's been breeding Dutch for 35 years.
Wow.
The girl next to him has been breeding Dutch since she was like 16.
Wow.
So this rabbit will have a lot of the problems I kind of told you about.
Okay.
So see how this rabbit's real strong in the hind quarter? Mm-hmm. But then it's kind of narrow through the shoulder area.
Yes.
And see what it does to the balance? Like it just doesn't look as balanced as that last Dutch.
Okay.
And then, you know when I talked about wavy saddles? See this little wave out here?
Yes.
They deduct for that.
Okay.
Well, I forgot to go over fur. When you bring a rabbit to show, fur and condition is a big factor in the overall total. So if you have a rabbit in shed, it'll get deducted. Mine unfortunately aren't in great coat right now.
Molten.
Yeah, I changed feeds and that'll do it.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. So see how this, when I talked about blaze, how nice and kind of straight the blaze on that other rabbit was. See how this like goes in like that?
Yes.
They'd call that biased, so it's, you know, biased to the left.
Okay.
On that blaze. She's not as clean in the neck either. Did you notice how that one Dutch was?
It was clear white all up in here.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's what they call the notch, and she's not as clean in the notch.
No.
And then look at her stops. See?
They're kind of in an angle a little bit.
Yeah. See, they're not real even. Well, they're not terrible, I guess.
Not too bad.
Yeah, they're not too bad, I guess.
So, how do you get your rabbits to stay calm like that?
We just brush them. I have the kids show, so they get used to it. She's actually not that calm of a rabbit. See how on that other Dutch it was nice and straight through here?
Yes, sir.
See how it kind of drags up into the white?
Yes.
So they'd say color drags into the saddle.
Okay.
And they'll deduct for that. Then you want Dutch to have what they call good bone. So I don't know if you remember, that other Dutch was thicker across the nose here.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways you tell like bone. And if you have good bone, you'll tend to have better type.
Okay.
And she's a little finer boned, which is bad compared to that other rabbit, which was a little thicker boned, which is good.
Okay.
And the reason that matters is because although Dutch are a marked breed, they're still considered a meat breed.
Yeah.
So you want a frame that can carry meat, basically.
Okay. Don't let my wife hear that pretty loud.
Okay, I'll say that.
I want to get into meat rabbits too. So.
And I don't know if you remember on that other Dutch, its feet were nice and straight.
Yeah.
That's preferable.
Okay.
This one curves out a little bit.
Okay.
And these feet, you want these feet a little bit shorter and wider.
Okay.
And that goes to bone.
Okay. Now, I was reading that ideally is 5 to 5.5 pounds is for the Dutch rabbit.
Yeah. Well, that's for an adult, so they'll show different. So this is a senior, so an adult, but there's also junior Dutch.
Okay.
I've got 3 blue juniors, and I can bring one of those out. So I don't know if on that first Dutch you saw when I went like that, it was nice and even all the way through. Mm-hmm. Can you see how it's kind of different color?
Like a different sheen?
Yeah. So she's out of condition.
So that means that she's got new hair somewhere.
Yeah,
and
she's
older
going
hair?
through her molt, and she's actually kind of in the final stages of her molt, and she'll be fine. This isn't the best of breed winner. This is her sister. She's a nice rabbit. I'll show you her sister. Her sister's a little better. So this rabbit's, hi buddy, how are you? This rabbit's her sister.
Okay.
And this is the best of breed winner, not that other rabbit. Her coat's bad too. She won't do well today.
So is the darker, the older hair, or the lighter?
This is the newer hair.
That's the
this
newer
is
hair?
The older
hair, okay.
Yeah. So it's coming in, but it just hasn't. You want it crisp like this here, not like this here.
Okay. Well, it's amazing what they look at, huh?
Yeah, it's. And every judge is different. Like I could tell you what I think of this rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
He could disagree, and the judge could disagree with both of us. So
It's subjective.
yeah, but yeah, that's about it. I just switched feeds lately. But I fed Karina a show for years and years and years and liked it.
So what did you switch to?
A feed called Heinold. It's out of the Midwest, but a gal that lives by me just started bringing it in.
Okay.
So I'm going to try it. A lot of the nationally ranked Dutch breeders or whatever, they feed that.
Oh, really?
So.